On July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed by the founding fathers of the United States. This document announced the separation of the original 13 colonies from the British Empire and started a war between the two. After the end of the Revolutionary War, delegates from each colony met in 1787 to come up with an idea for what the government of the United States should be like. What they decided on was a republican form of government, much like the one the Romans used. In this form of government, citizens elect delegates who then act on their behalf.
The problem is that we have 150,000 students who are qualified, who get into college, who qualify for the scholarship, and we run out of money. They're on the waiting list. So I propose this year that we double the amount of scholarships for MAP in our state, and I really hope we can get that done in November for the good of our state and good of our future.
Included in the U.S. Constitution are a list of amendments. Most of these amendments pertain to the rights of the United States civilians. The first 10 of these are often called the Bill of Rights. You heard them before. We have freedom of speech, of press, the freedom to assemble, to petition, to protest. We have the freedom to own guns, to revolt against our government, and the freedom to vote. At least back then if you were white, of course. The Civil War, a war fought between the North and the South. Many died to ensure the same rights given to white men would also be given to black men.
I guess they were just so into it they didn't really matter.
Though they weren't stupid. Maybe a guy gets
Danny's taller, you'll be able to see his remote. Actually, you gotta go
They probably weren't texting their wives. Blows me away. I mean, 150 years isn't that long.
No,
Not that.
guy still wanted to stay home or stay alive, go home for dinner, didn't he?
That's what he was talking about last night. That his grandma's 100. She's known people from this war, World War II.
Who's
Her grandma.
this one right here?
Yeah, her grandma.
Oh, she's not here.
No.
Oh, I was going to say she's standing.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it was. They had a follower man.
Oh, yeah,
They
yes.
fired her.
Once you get close enough where you get a perfect view no matter where you're at. Yeah. I mean, it's far enough away where it's not, but it has to be far because you don't know where they got to be take safety in.
Today, it appears like less and less people are actually going out to vote. Do they truly understand what democracy is and how important voting is? Let's find out.
The United States is a democracy. We are a free country. Everybody in the world wants to come here for a better life because they can make a wage, they can prosper, they can build a family, and other countries, they don't have that opportunity, and they all want to come here for that reason.
Democracy is supposed to mean everyone has a say. Democracy as a word or as this country uses it?
Both.
I don't
Do the
think,
word
I don't
first.
think I don't think they're the same.
Okay, talk. Explain.
Well, democracy is a way to make you believe you have a choice, you have a say. The funny thing about democracy, a very little known fact, is that this country is not a democracy. It's a republic. Also, democracy was started by demons. Also, a very little known fact. That's how you get the name demons. The history of it is kind of a mystery because obviously very little is known about demons. Somehow it was an established system in the underworld, and it somehow came to be in the upper part of the world, this part that we know. The Greeks embraced it, were one of the first to embrace it. They obviously, there was a lot of weird things that we would consider evil going on in ancient Greece. Democracy was one of them.
What is your definition of democracy?
Well, I would say democracy is a form of government that we currently use. Basically, what it is a government where the people elect representatives of themselves to basically govern and make decisions hopefully for the betterment of the people.
How does a democracy compare and differ from other forms of government?
I believe democracy, you have the right to vote. For the normal citizens and other governments, you don't have that freedom.
When you speak about the right to vote, let me ask you, did you vote in the latest general elections? Why or why not?
No, I didn't vote because I assumed that my vote wouldn't count, even though there was a lot of close races between both parties, the two leading parties, Democratic and the Republican Party. I chose not to vote because I feel that my vote was not important, even though it probably was. But generally, I usually find a trend to vote in the presidential elections.
As you can see, there are a lot of different definitions for democracy. No matter what you define democracy as, or how you feel about voting, it's important to remember this. Here in America, we have the right to say whatever we want. We have the right to not vote. We have the right to dress up however we want. We have those rights that people in other countries do not.